Good afternoon everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I thought we could finally delve into something I actually haven't tried before but I've been seeing everywhere online, and that is the Shein homewares. So I wanted to know if anything off there is worth buying, if it's kind of all rubbish, or if it would even arrive looking anything like the photos. So I've done a little research for you. I've gone ahead and purchased around about $200 worth of homewares from there, and I'm going to show you through all of them today, and we'll see if they're worthwhile or if they're just kind of useful things that I could actually take to my new place, because there are a couple of items on here I was really impressed with. So I will try and link everything in the description box down below in case you want to pick some of them up for yourself, but I had just personally never even crossed my mind to shop homewares on Shein. So if you haven't heard of Shein before, I predominantly knew them as a fast fashion place, and everything there is made in China. So obviously we know a lot of large-scale factory production sort of things are done over in China, and therefore a lot of the manufacturing and products we even receive here in Australia are usually made in China. So I will just pop that in there, I guess, as a bit of a disclaimer. I understand that they are not following the most sustainable practices, so that definitely doesn't align with all of my values in terms of preferring to buy locally made sort of things, but I just thought it would be a super fun video to grab a bunch of different homewares since I am about to move house, and I do think some of these are really cute and useful. As always, just a super quick reminder, don't forget to subscribe. The link is down below, and let's get going. I'll jump straight into it and grab the first item, which is called the 10 pieces round wall hook, and I'll pop a photo of how they show all of the items being used as well, just to give you an indication of what they were selling and what actually turned up for me. So I did have pretty low expectations, which is good because it means I wasn't going to get disappointed when any of these things arrived, but this one is, I mean, they just are what they are. It's a little packet of black and white hooks, and my intention for this was I thought it would be a really easy way to hang up some belts, because currently a lot of my belts are just all a mess and jumbled about in one of my drawers, and whenever I'm reaching for it or putting together an outfit, I can just either not find what I want or I just totally forget about them because they are so buried. So I kind of thought I could stick these up inside my wardrobe on like one of the side panels and have everything hanging up there instead. So one of the good things about these is they already come with the sticky part on the back as well, so you don't even have to go and buy any 3M tape or blue tack or anything because they're literally ready to go from the packet. And price wise, these ones cost me $2.95, which I thought was incredibly affordable. The next thing I got was the faucet storage rack. So basically whenever you have like sponges or steel wool or things like that in the sink, I find that I have nowhere to really put them. So if you had like a dish drying rack or something, maybe you could pop it there, but I feel like they never really dry out properly and they're always really wet and a little bit gross, so I end up throwing them out. So I thought this was kind of an interesting idea. Again, I'll just pop the photo up there, but basically it kind of grips around the tap, and because my new kitchen is going to be a lot of black and white, I thought this would match in perfectly. And the way they show it is having a little piece of steel wool in the top one and a sponge sort of sitting on the bottom one. So I will pop it in my new place and see how I go, if it annoys me or I don't think it looks very good. But yeah, I just thought that was super handy. It was $8.95, and I do think it will be quite useful to me because of the reasons I've already kind of said. I just find it a bit gross when things are sitting in the bottom of the sink and not necessarily drying back out again. The next thing I got is this plastic mirror wall sticker. So it's in this really cute design, and it's kind of one of those little wavy mirrors which are really on trend at the moment, and I thought this could be really cute either as a DIY project or just as something actually stuck on the wall as an additional mirror. So I haven't taken the sticker off yet, but hopefully you can see up close it is actually a proper mirror once I take that sort of sticker off it. But I'm just going to leave that open on it, sorry, because I am actually moving, so I don't want to damage it in the process. But my thought was to actually get a little piece of travertine stone, which is something I've got a few broken little bits of around my house, and I was just going to get some glue and literally super glue it onto there so it could be a little piece of home decor. But this one was literally only $4.95, and it is smaller than I thought. I did actually think it was going to be around about this big just based off the photos that they showed online, but that being said, you can't really complain for $5, and I do think it will actually be really cute. They also had a number of different shapes as well, if that wasn't quite your thing. I think there was like circles and ovals and stuff as well, and just extremely affordable to already have a pre-cut piece of mirror. The next item I got is this one called the Rotatable wall hook, and it certainly isn't the best quality thing I've ever picked up in my life, but it does come come with proper 3M branded tape to stick it onto the wall. So this is what it looks like. I got mine in the green color. It did also come in pink and blue, and it's just to hang up your keys near the entryway, but it's got 3 little hooks that kind of rotate around like that. So you could obviously pop a couple of other things on it, or maybe just a bunch of different keys if you don't kind of keep them all grouped together. But I just thought that was super handy, and I'm definitely going to stick it up near my door because I am forever losing my keys, and I don't really want to have them like on display in a key bowl because they're just kind of ugly. So I thought this would work really well for me, and I was totally impressed that it already came with the tape as well. The next thing I got were these little crystal trays. So they call them a jewelry storage tray, but I'm intending to use them as drink coasters for my dining table. So this is what they look like. I got mine in the white and gold color, but I think they also came in like pink and purple and lots of other different colors as well if you want. But they're actually pretty decent quality for what they are, and I know if you kind of bought coasters like this at a homeware store here in Australia, they would probably be quite expensive. So I thought that was a really good hack, and like I said, they're very cute. They do actually feel quite heavy and good quality as well, and they were $5 each, so $20 for a 4 set of those, and I'm definitely going to keep them and actually use them in my new place. The next thing I picked up was this, which is a wall mounted mop gripper. So it kind of has this little inset here where you can actually like click the mop into it, and yet again it already has the sticky part on the back of it, so it's ready to go to be stuck onto the wall like that, and then you can just stick your mop into it. So that'll be really good for my new laundry space. I mean, we'll have to see how strong it actually is and if it stays up and doesn't fall down, so stay tuned when I do my little laundry makeover and we'll see if it's actually worth having. But this one was $2.95, so yet again very affordable, and it's just a problem solver in terms of me having like a mop that's usually just thrown in a corner leaning up against a wall. So I really do like having little storage solutions like this where it is something that means that I can just keep that space a lot more tidy and organized. So I actually would recommend this one as well if it ends up working, because it was so affordable for what it is. The next thing I got is this, which is a hand-shaped clear storage jewelry rack, and this one was $7.95. So it kind of looks like this, which is a little bit hard to show on camera, but essentially like an acrylic little hand, and I just thought that was really cool to stack some of my rings and things on because it can pop on top of my jewelry box. It does look quite aesthetic. They also had it in like a solid white color, but I thought that looked really bad quality because it was kind of this weird fuzzy looking fabric, so I just went for the acrylic one instead, and it's going to be great for me to be able to see all of my rings like out and about instead of tucked away in jewelry drawers, because I can grab them and I'm good to go for the day. So I thought that was really cute, and the only comment I would say is I'd worry that it might like tip over, so I may end up putting something sticky on the base of it just so I can actually stick it on top of the jewelry box, because it is a little bit flimsy, so I doubt that it would kind of stay upright if it had too many heavy things put on it. The next thing I picked up was a knife sharpener, because I do have one at the moment, but it's kind of like this long tube thing that you have to drag the knives across, and I don't really like using it, and I don't really think I'm doing it properly, so I sort of worry about damaging some of my knives if I use it wrong. So I thought I would just get one of these. So this one just came in a random grey color. It had pink and some other color as well, but honestly I could not figure out how to use this when it first arrived because it's kind of stuck together. So what I ended up doing is you press in this button and then it kind of twists open like that. So I don't know, I feel like sometimes you need a degree to use these odd things, but it is actually quite well designed. It's got like a grippy part on the bottom here so that that can kind of sit on the bench, and then these little insets here just have some sort of porous looking material in it, which is what would end up sharpening the knives, so you can just kind of drag the knives through it. And this one was $4.95, and I actually think I'm going to get tons of use out of this, so I'm quite impressed. It was just the weird little having to press this dot to kind of close it off, but at least it means that it will take up less space when it's stored in my kitchen drawer as well, so can't complain about that one either. I'm actually quite impressed with many of the things that I've picked up so far. The next thing I grabbed is this, which is a hanging paper towel holder. So I guess you kind of hang it in a cabinet like this, and then you're able to slot the paper towel on here. It also yet again came with the proper 3M sticky tape already on it, which is just unheard of because I swear I've wasted so much money buying 3M sort of tape stuff over the years, and it's really not cheap. So it's great that they already include it on there, that you can literally just use it straight away. So I was thinking this could obviously go like underneath your kitchen cabinets or something if you wanted it to, but but I'll probably just pop mine inside the pantry for it being neat and tidy, because at the moment I've just got a paper towel roll holder like on my bench, and I really don't like it. It looks quite messy, and it's actually not that easy to rip off a piece of towel. You still have to sort of hold it as well. So I think this will be really handy, and yet again, just one of those storage things that makes your space look a lot cleaner as well. Price wise, this one was $7.95, and I really do like that it came in black. It's actually proper powder coated kind of metal as well, so I think this is really good quality for how much it costs. The next thing I picked up was a bit of a random one, but I just thought it might be an interesting storage solution for some of my shoes instead of having them all on shoe racks. So this would work best for like flat shoes and sandals and that kind of thing, but it's this one, which is a shoe storage rack. So you've probably seen stuff like this when you buy shoes in store, that they're kind of like already like hooked over on this kind of thing. But the other thing I don't like about it is this gold with the weird writing on it. I think that sort of takes away from it because it looks a little bit ugly. So I would either have to try and cover this or take it out somehow, or just have them in a place where they're hidden because it looks a little bit tacky. But aside from that, it was $5 and I ended up getting 4 of them just to try. So they do yet again come with the sticky back as well, so I'm able to just stick that on straight away and pop them on the wall, and then I can put my shoes on there. So I may end up kind of concealing that in my wardrobe as well, just because of that little gold part, but I think that will be quite a good little storage solution as well. So I might end up going back and buying a couple more if it ends up working for me. The next thing I grabbed is this coat hanger, and unfortunately it just comes in a random color as it says in the description, but it's a multi-function clothes hanger, and I thought this would be really good because a lot of my pants are hidden away in a drawer. So yet again, when I'm putting outfits together, I don't always kind of have the ability to visualize everything all at once, and I also just thought this would be a good space saver in terms of storage. So you're able to hang obviously a number of items over this and then pop that in the wardrobe. So my preference would have been to get it in white, but they don't allow you to choose the color. But that being said, it was only $5, so at the moment I just purchased one because I thought I might give it a go and see if it actually works for me. But if it does, I may end up buying a couple more, and that way I can actually hang all of my pants up in the wardrobe and be able to kind of see them all at once. So I'll keep you guys posted in an upcoming video. But yeah, I mean, it is reasonably sturdy plastic. It doesn't feel like it's kind of going to break very easily. So I think this will actually be a good space saving solution. Next thing I grabbed was for my laundry, and this definitely wasn't cheap in terms of items from Shein, because I guess the whole point of shopping on there is that things are like really, really cheap, like $2 junk shop kind of prices cheap. But this one was actually $20, but I am impressed by the quality. So I do think that it was worth it. But it's a little laundry detergent dispenser. So it's kind of just like a little plastic container like this, and the sides kind of clipped open and shut again to make sure that the liquid is in there quite safely. And then the top is a little spout, and it comes with the cup so you can sort of pour the liquid out. And I just thought that was a really cute little solution. It's also got a handle that you can pick it up by, and I think this will be really good for keeping my laundry liquid in because it looks a little bit more aesthetic than having like the pre-packaged sort of however it comes from the supermarket, and I just think this will be a great little solution. Next thing I grabbed was this, which is a pot lid storage rack. So this one is meant to be able to have the lids of things while you're cooking kind of mounted in it, and also any like little utensils and things so that any drips and stuff are caught by the tray. So I did think this was going to be silicone or something better quality, but it's really, really cheap and plasticky. But maybe that's all right because I guess it's just going to get dirty anyway, so at least it can just kind of get thrown in the dishwasher. I did get it in a nice light beige sort of color as well, and it was $3.95. So not too good, but also not too bad. And I do think it will actually just help keep my kitchen a little bit tidier because I do love doing a lot of cooking and stuff. So I'll be interested to see how this one works for me. It also does have 4 little grippy feet on the bottom as well. So despite the fact that a lot of these items are super cheap, they actually have kind of thought about the usability as well so that it won't kind of slip and slide around. So I do have to say I'm quite impressed so far with some of these Shein homewares. I was thinking everything was going to be completely rubbish, but I actually am probably going to keep most of this stuff. The next thing I grabbed is this mesh laundry basket, and I haven't actually taken mine out of the bag yet, but it looks really bad. It is very, very cheap, thin kind of mesh, and I genuinely think this would literally break the first time that I used it. So I am probably going to return this one. It was only $5, but I genuinely think you could easily get a far better laundry hamper for just a fraction more of the price and way better quality. So my intention for this was just having an easy to use pop out hamper for when I do my sheets, because I don't own a dryer. So in the middle of winter here in Melbourne, when it's like really cold, I will often just pop my sheets into a bag and take it down to the laundromat where I can dry them, so I don't kind of have to have a clothes horse with them out for days. So I thought this would have been a good solution, but sadly this one is definitely on the not keeping pile. Another item I picked up was this, which is a one-piece long-handled toilet cleaning brush. So it came in a couple of bits like this, and then you just kind of screw it all together. So it is very cheap and plasticky feeling. It's very, very lightweight, but it also yet again came with the little sticky thing, so you can actually just mount it onto a wall like next to your toilet or something. So that is super handy, and it has already slightly broken, which is I guess to be expected for something this cheap, but I don't know if that even needs to stay on. I guess maybe it can come off, or actually maybe it is a part, oh no, hang on, it's a part of this container, so maybe it's not actually that bad. I'll just click it back in. Okay, so I take it back. It hasn't actually broken, but that sort of goes in there, and okay, no, it's broken again. Let's forget about it. It is a silicone little brush like this, so that you can kind of get in under the toilet rim and make sure everything is super clean. So, I mean, aside from this top part breaking off, I do actually think this will be quite useful, and the fact that it's silicone means it's really easy to clean if you just pop in some boiling water. So, I don't know. I mean, it was only $5, so I guess that's why it is kind of cheap, but $5 compared to some stuff that you can pick up at Kmart that is very similar, there is probably a major quality difference. So I'm not really too sure if it's worth it, but I do think it was a little bit of an interesting item that I wanted to try. The next thing I grabbed is this, which is a little clear honey dipping stick, and this one was $2.95. So I wanted this for when I make platters and things, so it would kind of look a little bit fancy if you were like drizzling some honey over the top of things, and also just for general content creation when I am trying to do some flat lays and things like that. But it is pretty bad quality. There's a lot of like bubbling in the handle, as you can probably see. So if anyone knows where I could find a beautiful like metal version of this, that would be amazing, because I also do kind of like the wooden ones, but I've just never really been able to find one. I have looked on Amazon and a couple of other homewares places, but I thought I would try this and I am a little bit disappointed. Next thing I grabbed is this little atomizer spray bottle, and I thought this would be really great for olive oil or coconut oil and things to pop in here when I'm doing some cooking. And this was $6.95, and I actually think it's really worth it. It came like this, and it's got the little nozzle in here where it can get the items, and it does actually work perfectly fine in terms of being able to squeeze it. It looks quite sturdy, and I think I might even end up going back and getting a few more of these for different types of oils and things as well that I can keep in the pantry, because it's the perfect little size. It's not too big, not too small, and it actually feels a really good quality for what it is. This one I'm very excited for because I thought it was really unusual and I've never seen anything like this, so I kind of really enjoy those little strange home hacks. But this one is called a clear toothpaste dispenser, and it looks like this. It also comes with, again, the little sticky part on the back, which is great. That kind of just slotted in and is ready to be peeled off and stuck. So apparently you just pop the toothbrush in here and press down, and then the tube of toothpaste slots into the top here. So I'll have to keep you posted if this actually works. It was $7.95, and I was thinking to just kind of mount this on the side of my mirror so that I can easily get to it. And it is a really cute solution to having a little bit of a hands-free approach to like squeezing a tube of toothpaste and having that not like sitting on your counter and creating further clutter and mess. So really interested to see if this works. It definitely feels like quite good quality for what it is, because there was a few other versions of this that were a little bit cheaper, like maybe around $2 to $3, but I thought I would opt for this one because I do actually want it to work. So very, very interested in this, and it's in a nice white, plain and clear color as well, so it won't clash with anything in my home. Lastly, I grabbed this, and I completely forgot what this was. I actually had to look up the email of my order to try and figure out what it was, but it's actually a garbage bag dispenser. So again, it came with the little sticky part for whenever you end up sticking it on, and I thought this would just go under the sink. So the garbage bags go in here, and then you're able to just pull one out at a time. So yet again, a really clever little storage saver saver, and it is a very, very cheap kind of plastic, but it was only $3.95, and I just thought the idea was brilliant because that's something that just gets thrown under my sink, and I do end up needing a new garbage bag quite often. So I'll be really interested to see if this works and is a really cute little storage and space saver as well. So that is everything that I picked up in my little Shein homewares haul. I'm actually quite impressed. I think there's only 2 or 3 things that I'm going to end up returning from all of that because they were actually really rubbish, but the rest of them seem really good, and I think I'm going to probably go back and browse a couple more items once I've moved, just in case there's any little bits and pieces that are annoying or could be better, like storage solutions and things, because it honestly didn't take that long to arrive either. I was under the impression that when people purchased off Shein, it would probably take like a month because it's coming from all the way over there. It might be getting shipped like quite literally on a boat. So I was really, really impressed when it turned up within about a week and a half of me ordering. So can't fault them on that. I'm not quite sure how they get things here so quickly. Perhaps they have like a local warehouse in Australia these days, but yeah, I'm actually overall pretty impressed and looking forward to using all of these items in my new home. So if you're interested in following up, then make sure you are subscribed, and I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.
All day, all in your space is where I wanna be. Here in this room, what did you do? I just can't get